Hey guys, welcome back to Gideon Stuff. Today we have a first impressions video. Excuse me. It's been a long day, but today we're actually checking out my first two knife purchases of 2024. I know, I waited all the way till February. I think we got some pretty interesting knives here, so let's go ahead and get going. Take a sip of this Ghost Energy. This is a sour pink lemonade flavor. Pretty good one. I live off of these things. I know one of these days my heart's going to explode, but I live off of those. This morning, I just got out of my French class. Yes, I'm taking a French class. Funny story behind that, but now I'm getting ready to go to work, and after that, I got a field trip I gotta go to, and then I got some other things to do today. So it's gonna be a long day, but today I'm here at Tractor Supply, and I got a Camillus knife. This is not what I went in there for. I'll show you what I went in there for in a little bit, but you guys know I love Camillus, and so when I see that they've got a new model, I always want to check it out. So this is the Camillus Chiller, and it has a bottle opener. Bottle opener knives have become really popular lately, and I have no idea why, because a lot of bottles have twist-off caps now, but I'm seeing, like, the Civivi Quivet is a great example. It had that built-in bottle opener, and a lot of knives are doing that nowadays, so, you know, whatever. We're getting into this today with the Cold Steel American Lawman. And speaking of Cold Steel and Camillus, if I'm not mistaken, GSM Outdoors, the company that owns Cold Steel and SOG, look, I said SOG, not SOG, I think they also own Camillus, which is kind of cool. I think they've been doing cool things with Cold Steel and SOG. And so maybe, I mean, I would love to see them do some really interesting things with Camillus. I love Camillus, you guys already know this. I think they're a really, really awesome brand. But I would maybe like to see them do other things. And if anyone from GSM is watching, look, I know not a whole lot of reviewers take the time to look at Camillus stuff. I am your biggest fan. If you ever want a reviewer to take a look at some products, send them to me. Send them to me. I got you. Okay, so here's the Chiller. I gotta say, you look at Camillus's little write out of the knife on the back of the packaging, and they always have the pocket clip mounted tip down, even though on the knife it's tip up. There was, excuse me, there was a knife I saw a while ago at a Tractor Supply, and I wanted to buy it, but I saw that it had a tip down clip, and I was like, oh, I'm really not into that. And then I realized, oh, actually it has a tip up carry clip, so I got it. And yeah, anyways, I think that was actually the Rain. So, what's on my fingers? I don't think it's from the knife. Here we go. We got like a little drop point sheep's footy blade, injection molded, 420 steel. This is a $10 knife. This came out to $9.99. Ergonomics are actually really, really nice. You've got that thinner to thicker handle profile. The bottle opener here actually doesn't dig into my hand. At least not right now. It might, you know, when I'm using the knife and pushing it through material, but right now, it actually feels pretty good. That's a welcome surprise. Pocket clip is perfect. Flat screws, it's recessed, it's wide, good length, got a good ramp here without being obnoxious. Camillus knows how to do pocket clips. They nail their pocket clips. Honestly, every company needs to look to Camillus for how to do their pocket clips. Most of them. I've had a couple of Camilluses that had trash pocket clips, but most of them are really, really nice. And that's another thing about Camillus, too, is most of their knives have unique clips. Like, they don't reuse the same clips over and over again. Some of them they do, like this one I think I've seen on a couple other models, but a lot of times they'll make unique clips for each knife, which I think is really cool. All right, let's go ahead and holy cow. Oh my goodness. Centering is spot on, but goodness, that action. What on earth? Oh, Camillus, no. No, no, no. Absolutely no detent. No blade play, but man, this thing is so tight. Ah, Camillus, come on. That's one thing I can always count on Camillus too, is having a good action. That's not good. Why is there a flipper tab on here? Oh, man. There's a lot about this thing that I'm liking. For one, hollow ground blade, and look how thin that blade stock is. This is going to be a really, really nice slicer, I can already tell you. And it's not even on bearings, it's on just Teflon washers. Come on, Camillus, why? Why? It's a disappointment. It's a disappointment. Access to the lock bar is good. Honestly, as just a slow roller, it works. Not really flickable though, it's way too tight. Got a little choil here that you can choke up into. Man, although it's a tiny choil, that is a tiny choil. What a disappointment. Yikes. Yikes. I was liking this design so much. It's a shame. It's a shame is what it is. Camillus, I'm upset. I'm disappointed. It's a really, really cool knife, but it's just not there. All right, but we will use this knife. Excuse me. Must have swallowed a buttload of dust this morning as I was driving. Let's take a look at this Reapr Brigade. Now, this is what I went to Tractor Supply Today for. Way back in December, I recorded a video at a feed store, and I saw they had some Reapr stuff, and I made a short. I was like, hey, do you guys want to see me check out some of this stuff? And the response was overwhelmingly positive, like, yes, you should check out some of that stuff. So I came to Tractor Supply Today to see if I could find any of their products. I kind of wanted to get the spear, but they didn't have it. So I got this knife, which honestly, this is going to be more of a appropriate gauge of their quality, right? What the heck am I going to use a spear for? I probably will get the spear eventually just for fun, just to review it, maybe throw it at some stuff. But this is an actual usable tool. So let's go ahead. 5-inch blade, G10 handle, nylon sheath, and 420 stainless steel, which this also has 420. 420 is a steel that is hit or miss, right? Buck uses it a lot, and they do a fantastic job with it. You know, that Boss heat treat is, their 420 does perform really, really well. For example, I've had a lot of, the experience I've had with Buck's 420, I have seen it outperform some 14C 28N in terms of edge retention. And it's also a fairly tough steel. Not the toughest, but fairly tough. So it's not bad. On Camillus, like the 420 on this is a $10 knife. 420 is an amazing steel at $10. That's fantastic. This knife here was about a $40 knife. So 420, at that point, you know, you're getting to that point of, But I do have a Gerber Strong Arm. That's an $80 knife in 420 steel, and it's actually, I've been impressed with it. So yeah, I have had some 420 that has not performed very well at all, and my goodness, this blade is a nice slicer, nice cutter. But you know, it can be good. So yeah, I guess I'm just rambling as I fight this thing out of the box, but we've got it out of the box now. Let's take a look here. Take off that blade protector. A little bit weighty, but I gotta say, so right away the blade, they call it a modified drop point. This is a straight clip point all the way. The blade reminds me a lot of the Cold Steel SRK, right? Which is, you guys know, it's one of my favorite knives ever. So I like that a whole lot. Thickness is similar, maybe a little bit thinner. It is really, really heavy in the back. Like, I don't think this tang has any skeletonization at all. Looks like we've got we've got actually two different pieces of G10 here. So this tan piece and this black piece are two different pieces. The black one is held in with two T6 screws, it looks like. And these ones are probably maybe T10s on these screws here. Got a lanyard hole. Spine does feel like it's sharp enough to throw sparks off a ferro rod. Of course, the coating makes it a little, you know, feel not as sharp as it is, but it is a 90-degree spine. A little bit of a recurve back here. The sharpening, not a huge deal. Ergos are blocky, but okay. They've got a big choil here, and for me, it doesn't fall in the best place. This is not the most perfect ergonomic match for my hands. I guess that's okay. Let's take a look at the sheath here. Pretty plain, pretty simple ordeal. It is a completely ambidextrous sheath, though, so that's good. Yeah, wow, that is a that is a cheapo sheath. There's your belt loop. It's a sheath that I would compare to a lot of things that you get in, like, Imtex type of things. It looks kind of like some K-Bar or Ontario sheaths, but not real high quality at all. Yeah, I would, honestly, if I decide that I'm going to make this knife one of my regular users, I'd probably make it a new sheath. Full tang, which is good. The scales are pretty blocky. They do have chamfered edges kind of breaking down the corners of the G10, which I appreciate. Let's go ahead and see what the sharpness is like. Ooh. Actually, that is a really good edge. That's way better than I was expecting. Feels like a hollow ground blade, like a very shallow hollow grind. The tip is a little more dainty than on the SRK, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. It gives you a little more piercing capabilities. Yeah, interesting knife. Really, really interesting knife. There's a lot I like about it. I like the overall design and stuff. As someone who's a big fan of the SRK, this really does feel like, you know, it was kind of trying to capture some of that essence. And I'm here for it. This is my favorite outdoor knife blade shape. The straight clip point, I think, is absolutely the way to go with an outdoor knife. You get a lot of utility out of there. The sheath, I am absolutely not impressed with at all. Ugh. And actually, there at the Track Supply, they had this on the shelf right next to the SRK, and I think this was going for like 40. But let's see, I got the receipt right here. Yeah, so $34.99, so $35. They had the SRK right next to it for $59.99, which you're gonna pay more for a knife when you buy it in store, right? You can get a Cold Steel for 35 bucks online, but I'm guessing you could probably get this knife for like 20 bucks online. So it might be a compelling budget alternative to the SRK. That's a weird idea, a budget alternative to already a very budget-friendly fixed blade, but you know, everyone's got different budgets, so that might be something worth checking out. I don't think I've seen these online anywhere, but maybe they are out there. So, in fact, I'm sure they are. Everything's online. You can find anything online. So maybe I'll do some looking around, see what I got. But here we go. The fit and finish is mostly okay. There's some gapping back here. Yeah. You know, we'll give it a review. We will give it a review. I will test it out and let you guys know what I think of it. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching. Quick shout out to my channel members. Man, it's been a while since I filmed a video. Holy cow. To my channel members at the cowboy level, Sharpened Blade and Old Tonto Guy, really appreciate the support. If you want to become a channel member and get access to exclusive perks, you can click the join button below. I've got 3 different tiers, depending on what you're into. And when we hit 8 members, I'm going to be doing a giveaway to the members. Giveaways are open to members at any level. You don't have to be a certain level. Giveaways are going to be open to everybody, but it will be a members-only giveaway. And yeah, I think that's all the business to take care of. So again, thank you for watching. I've been Gideon. and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.